Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored this week by Stern & Spiegel LLP, 516-873-1683. Let us solve your problems. And by Tiffany Dry Cleaners, pickup and delivery in West Hempstead and surrounding communities, 718-309-5222. And by IND Glot Market, 327 Hempstead Avenue, for all of your shopping needs. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan. And hey, Norm, what's going on?
We're busy this week.
Yeah, busy. There was a rally early this week on Tuesday, and lots of buses and carloads of people left from West Hempstead to go down to Washington, D.C.
Hundreds of people attended that rally from town. A lot of them didn't make it there. I don't know if you heard about that. Some buses got so snarled in traffic they couldn't get even close to this rally, turned around and came back, or some stayed 10 minutes and had to leave. But it was quite a showing.
Yeah, well, you know what, when 300,000 people gather in one location in one spot, there's bound to be logistical issues, but it definitely shows the commitment from the community to express themselves during this difficult time.
Right, and I think to a certain extent it's our fight back on anti-Semitism. We're seeing it all over. We're seeing it in our town now, which is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah,
because it's not something that we live with every day. But we had an incident in town last night, right?
You know what? It's been the last few days. There have been a buzz on social media. There have been acts of vandalism regarding signs that are all over the community. There's been broken glass. There's been the broken, vandalized menorah in front of Chabad that's stood there for forever.
Yeah.
There's some real tough times in the community right now.
Yeah, but we're not immune.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we certainly saw what happened over Halloween night that we've talked about. I mean, look, there's people out there who are after the Jewish community. We've seen people put the posters of the kidnapped Israelis up around. People are ripping them down. I mean, it's low-level stuff, but it is concerning because it's happening here.
Yeah, and you know what? Quite frankly, I would much rather not cover this and talk about the fun things, the Thanksgiving and others. But this is what's going on in the community.
Look, this is reality. The FBI has put out an alert. They're expecting the huge increase in the possibilities of terrorist actions, and we have to have this in mind.
Yeah. It's,
and I'll remind you again, by the way, thanks to the Nassau County Police who are following up on the most recent incidents, there is a bias hotline. And by all means, if something comes up and you observe it or you're a victim of it, but make sure that they're aware that it's a bias situation.
Yeah. By the way, it's not just a bias hotline. They have a dedicated bias group that investigates this stuff, not just for Jewish, but for Asian, for blacks, anybody that has a bias issue. They need to reach out to these guys because they're there for you.
It's super important, and can't stress that enough. And we just want to go back to a community that's, calm and that's focusing on local things and all that kind of stuff.
Arguing about school budgets, for example.
Exactly. And, I think right now, let's just take a quick pause for a commercial.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shot.
As I was also looking through social media, it just happens to be a general slow news cycle in the community, I spotted something that was a little bit uncomfortable, but since it was out there on social media, I think it's worthwhile talking about, which was there was a person who started a thread on one of the local sites about restorers, about the local bakery, and the person was basically complaining about the service, and then there was a following back and forth thread of people agreeing, saying, yeah, I had a bad experience, I don't like to go there. Others saying, I go there all the time and they're great and they go above and beyond. And I would like to point out in starting this discussion that it's unfortunate that these things have to be aired out in social media, but I think that's the world that we live in.
Yeah, well, my experience with Reese's is all positive. I get good service. I don't expect anything more. Growing up in Queens, I always remember bakeries being grumpy people. I mean, always. I had to wait online. It was not a good experience. I've only had, really good experiences there.
And you know what? I would ditto that. I think Restorers is a landmark in our community. I think we should be fortunate to have them in the community. We should be fortunate for the Jewish community that they took the time to convert their entire, bakery over. And I remember what it was like, wanting to go there and they weren't kosher and now they are. And you go to a bakery to get fresh baked goods that are really good. And also, by the way, their specialty cakes are amazing.
Yeah.
So it's
but something. There's a message here for Reesters. I mean, obviously the community is speaking. Then obviously there's room for improvement. And so you can't please all the people all the time. But maybe there is something they can do to start to address some of these concerns.
My first question in all these circumstances is, did you say something politely, hopefully, to either the person who gave you a hard time, which is, difficult, or did you say something to the leadership of the bakery, say something to Carl Jr., say something to somebody?
Exactly.
To say, before you rush to social media, and I don't know that this person did, listen, it's customer service. The expectation should be there that when you come, somebody is at least basically polite, even if they're not the most friendly person on the planet. But you do have to let the management know, listen, I just want you to know I had this experience, and hopefully they'll change it. And by the way, if I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day to bake goods, I think I'd probably be grumpy by the middle of the day, too.
Yeah, and to that point, Carl Restorer, Senior and Junior, are very visible. They're visible in community.
They're the anchors of the community.
They're certainly visible in the bakery. And if you have an issue, you should let them know, or send them a private message or an email, or however you want to do it. Putting it out on social, maybe not the best. But you know what? One thing that I would just end with, they make incredible pies for Thanksgiving, which is coming up. And, we do urge people to visit their local stores. And speaking of Thanksgiving and also giving back to the community, we have Bagel Town, which is located on Hempstead Avenue, and they're just going through a major renovation and really putting, business back into the community.
Yeah, it's nice to see somebody making an investment. Still have some empty stores. I guess that's just how it's going to be, and it's a struggle for store owners. So if you're shopping local, really do your best, because these people need the support, and this is the holiday season.
Absolutely.
They depend on it.
They totally do, and there are places like China Connection in our community that have been here for a long time. They have a great selection of gifts for the holiday. Give them a shot.
They've been a great neighbor to the synagogue next door. They're opening now for the holiday season. This is a big season for them. It's a good time to visit.
Yeah, one of the things, of course, is it's a little hard in town here. There's not a lot of foot traffic during the day. So if you're around, by all means, all these places provide good food, good service, good proper goods, whatever it is they're offering. Take advantage of the opportunity to help a local business as well as getting what you need.
Absolutely. And if you're looking to enjoy the fall foliage, get outside, go to Hall's Pond. The leaves will be around just for a little bit longer, and the annoying, leaf blower people, whatever, get that sound out of the area. I think that'll do it for This Week in West Hempstead. Thank you, Norm. Thank you, Dan. And join us next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Indeed, enjoy your Thanksgiving coming up. If you would like to sponsor our program, much like Stern & Spiegel, I&D, and Tiffany Dry Cleaners, reach out to us at sales@westhempsteadecho.com.